Greetings, friends. What are you learning today that will help you better serve God? Okay, I want to tell you about 3 films that every Christian should enjoy this season. All right, 3 films. They're timeless. Every Christian should watch them this Christmas season. They're 3 of my favorite films, and you've probably heard of them. So here they are. If you're tired of movies that entertain you for hours and hours and kind of leave you empty afterward, okay, especially during the Christmas season, then consider the following films. I want to share 3 films that'll speak to your soul. These films will actually slow you down in this fast world of ours and reinforce some eternal truths. They'll actually leave you better off after watching them. You can't say that about every film with all the violence and sex and profanity and stuff. So here they are. Because these are films that deal with really important themes like faith and redemption and sacrifice and the value of human life. Okay? These are not quick watch films. A couple of the films are over 3 hours, and one of them is a couple of hours, I imagine. But they are timeless and worth every minute of your watching. I own all 3 of them. Here they are. But even before I mention them, I want to tell you some points that you should keep in mind, why these are important. Before I talk about each film individually, let me tell you why I recommend them. First, these films reinforce eternal truths, like I said, faith, forgiveness, obedience, humility, redemption. Secondly, they actually do slow you down. They require patience and reflection, which is something we've lost in our modern world. It's something that the Christmas season calls us back to. Thirdly, they strengthen moral discernment. We all need more moral discernment, don't you agree? In other words, determining what is right and wrong, to be able to discern what is right and wrong. There's a lot of confusion about that today because of moral relativism, where we teach in our public schools there are no absolutes. That's false. God is an absolute, and He tells us what is right and wrong. Secondly, pride and humility are contrasted. Choices matter. Consequences are real. Evil is defeated in the end, in the final analysis. Fourth, they show that suffering is not meaningless. Maybe to the existentialist it's meaningless, but not in God's world. Redemption often comes through hardship and not comfort. All right. Fifthly, they're family appropriate and discussion worthy. You can actually watch these films with your mother and father or with your children if your parents listening to this. These are films that you can watch with others and actually talk about them afterwards. I think that's always good to sit down and talk as a family. What the film's about, what did you learn from it? Is it worth seeing again? Okay? A really, really good film is worth seeing again. Because, especially when you put it on the shelf for a while and you watch it several years later, it's like watching it for the first time. Your mind has forgotten so many of the details. So you got to watch it a few times. And finally, these films don't just pass time and shape character. They leave you with something to carry into real life. And I think that's very significant. All right, the first film on our list is Ben-Hur. Came out in 1959. That's when it was released. The film stars Charlton Heston as Judah Ben-Hur and was directed by William Wyler, spelled W-Y-L-E-R. It's one of the most awarded films in history. I think it won 11 Academy Awards. Can you imagine that? The music is just absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's set during the time of Christ and tells a powerful story of betrayal, suffering, vengeance, and ultimately forgiveness. I remember going to the Hollywood Bowl one time with my mother. I forgot what year it was, maybe 98, 99, 2000, somewhere around there, and listening to the music. It was beautiful. I believe I went with my mother. I could have went with my friend Paul. I'm not sure. But one thing that must be mentioned is the music, and the score was by Miklos Rosa, spelled M-I-K-L-O-S, and last name R-O-Z-S-A. I might have butchered the pronunciation. I apologize if I did. But it is absolutely magnificent, sweeping, reverent, and emotionally powerful. The music alone lifts the film to another level. Ben-Hur is long, about 3.5 hours, but it's a film about redemption. It reminds us that mercy is greater than revenge. The music in it is, like I said, is fantastic. The acting, it's set during the period of Roman rule, and anyway, just watch it. Ben-Hur, spell it Benhur. There's a dash in between. Okay. Second film, one that I saw as a teenager many times, The Ten Commandments, also starring Charlton Heston. That came out in 1956, and that's when it was released. Charlton Heston stars as Moses, was directed by Cecil B. DeMille, spelled D-E, capital M-I-L-L-E. This film tells the story of the Exodus, the deliverance of Israel from Egypt, and presents God's law, his power, and his authority in a way that few films have. It's grand, reverent, unashamedly biblical. This film is about 3.5 hours. It's another long film. It's actually 3 hours and 40 minutes, and was one of the most expensive films to produce and one of the most ambitious projects at the time. The Ten Commandments reminds us that freedom comes through obedience to God, not rebellion, and that God is not to be taken lightly. Okay? God is greatly to be feared, the Bible says, in the assembly of the saints, and to be had in reverence of all those who are about him. Third film, again, one of my favorites. I usually see it about every year or every other year. It's called It's a Wonderful Life. Came out in 1946, directed by Frank Capra, starring Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart, who I think died the first year I was in Hollywood, 1997 maybe. And also Donna Reed. Jamie Stewart, he portrays George Bailey. Donna Reed as Mary. And unlike the other two, this one's shorter. It's only a couple hours. And it's more intimate, but no less powerful. It's a Wonderful Life. It tells the story of a man who believes his life has been a failure, and only to discover how much his existence matters to others. The consequences of what would life be like had George Bailey never lived. It has an angel that comes down and helps to save his life, and it's just a beautiful scenery. It reminds us of the value of one life, the importance of community, and the unseen impact of everyday faithfulness. So, I encourage you to watch these films. These 3 films remind us of what really matters in life. They shape character, they encourage gratitude, and point us back to faith, hope, and redemption. Exactly what the Christmas season is meant to do. If you're looking for something deeper to watch this December, I highly recommend giving these films your time. Okay? Now, which of these films have you already seen, if you've seen any of them? And which will you watch this Christmas? Let me know in the comments below. All right? And, my daughter's out for a couple weeks. I plan on doing some fun things for the next couple of weeks, and I hope you do too. I usually don't have Christmas trees, but my wife has got one, and they're beautiful, but it has nothing to do with the birth of Jesus Christ per se. But let me just give you a quick shot of the one in our home. There you go. Scintillating lights and everything else. My wife has some music that her brother bought, and it has a couple of inappropriate ones like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or something like that. But most of them are sacred. And I do like Little Town of Bethlehem and Oh Come All Ye Faithful. There's a lot of good songs like that are played during the Christmas season. And I hope you enjoy these films. If you don't have them, you might be able to get them on YouTube for free. Sometimes you just have to endure patiently the ads that come with it. But if you can't get it on YouTube, I encourage you to buy it on eBay if they're available. You can always buy them less expensively on eBay, or just go to Amazon and buy them there. All right? May the Lord richly bless you. Have a great evening.